I learned the hard way that after 50, there are 5 things you should never share with anyone. Not your friends, not your family, not anyone. And ignoring this advice cost me everything. My name is Walter. I'm past 50 and I made a mistake that destroyed relationships, cost me money, and taught me a brutal lesson about human nature. For most of my life, I was an open book. Thought honesty was always the best policy. Thought sharing everything with people close to me was what you were supposed to do. I was wrong, dead wrong. I need to tell you about these 5 things because I see people making the same mistakes I made. Oversharing, being too open, trusting too much. And they're going to learn the same painful lessons I learned unless someone warns them first. Let me start with what happened to me. Then I'll tell you the 5 things you should never share. I had a good life, worked hard, built a successful small business, had a solid marriage, raised 2 kids, had friends I'd known for decades. Everything looked fine from the outside. And I was the kind of person who shared everything. My plans, my problems, my finances, my family issues. Thought that's what friends were for. Thought being open was being real. Then everything fell apart. And I realized that every single problem I had came from sharing things I should have kept to myself. So here are the 5 things you should never share with anyone after 50. Learn from my mistakes. Number 1, never share your future plans. This is the one that hurt me most. I had plans to sell my business and retire early. Spent years building toward this. Had a buyer lined up. Everything was set. And I was excited, so I told people, told my friends, told my extended family, told people at church. Big mistake. Huge. One of the people I told was a guy I considered a friend. We'd known each other for 20 years, and he went behind my back and contacted my buyer. Told him things about my business that weren't true. Made me look bad. Tried to position himself as a better option. The deal fell through. I lost a buyer, lost the retirement I'd planned, and lost the friend. Turned out he'd been jealous of my success for years, and the moment I gave him information he could use against me, he did. I learned that when you share your future plans, you give people power over you. They can sabotage you. They can copy you, they can get there first, or they can just make you feel bad about your dreams until you give up on them. Keep your plans to yourself. Work on them quietly. Share them only after they're done, after the deal is closed, after the move is made, after the goal is achieved, never before. Number 2, never share your financial situation. I used to be open about money. If I had a good year, I'd mention it. If things were tight, I'd say so. Thought it was just being honest. Being real with people? Wrong. People judge you based on your money. If you have too much, they resent you. If you have too little, they look down on you. There's no winning. When I mentioned I'd had a good year in business, people's attitudes changed. Suddenly, I was expected to pay for things, pick up checks, loan money. And if I didn't, I was cheap. I was being stingy with the money I'd earned through my own hard work. When I mentioned money was tight one year, people treated me differently too. Less respect, more distance, like failure was contagious. I also had family members who only came around when they thought I had money to give them, and they disappeared when they thought I didn't. taught me that talking about money only creates problems. Keep your financial situation private, whether you're doing well or struggling. Nobody needs to know. And knowing only changes how they treat you, never for the better. Number 3, never share your family problems. This one destroyed my marriage. My wife and I went through a rough patch. Nothing unusual. Just normal marriage stuff. Disagreements. Frustrations. The kind of things every couple deals with. But I talked about it. Vented to friends. Complained to my brother. Told people at work that things were tense at home. Thought I was just processing. Just getting support. But here's what happened. Every person I told took sides. Formed opinions about my wife. Started treating her differently. And some of them told other people. So suddenly our private marriage problems were public knowledge. My wife found out I'd been talking about our issues, and she was furious. Said I'd betrayed her trust. Made our problems worse by involving other people. And she was right. I'd taken something private and made it public. And it damaged our relationship more than the original problems did. I also learned that people remember the bad things you tell them. Years later, after my wife and I worked things out, people still treated her based on things I'd said during our rough patch. Still had negative opinions. Still held grudges on my behalf that I'd long since let go of. Keep family problems in the family. Don't vent to outsiders. Don't make your spouse or your kids or your parents look bad to other people. Handle it privately. Work it out privately. And protect your family's reputation even when you're mad at them. Number 4, never share your good deeds. I used to help people. Gave money when someone needed it. Helped friends with projects. Volunteered. Did good things. And I talked about it. Not bragging exactly, just mentioning it, letting people know I'd helped. Big mistake, because talking about good deeds ruins them, makes them about you instead of about helping. It makes people question your motives, makes them think you only did it for recognition. I loaned a friend money when he was struggling. Didn't ask for it back. Just helped because I could, but I mentioned it to someone else. Said I'd helped him out, and it got back to him. And instead of being grateful, he was humiliated, angry that I'd told people about his financial problems, angry that I'd made his private struggle public, ruined the friendship, ruined the good deed. All because I couldn't keep quiet about it. If you help someone, keep it between you and them. Don't tell other people. Don't use it as an example of how generous you are. Just do it quietly and let it stay quiet. Real good deeds don't need an audience. Number 5, never share your past mistakes. I used to think being open about past mistakes was being authentic. Being vulnerable, showing people I was human. So I tell stories about things I'd messed up, relationships that failed, business decisions that went wrong, times I'd been stupid or selfish or wrong. Thought it was being real. Thought people would respect the honesty. Some did. Most didn't. Most just filed that information away. Used it against me later. Brought it up in arguments. Used it to question my judgment. Used it to make themselves look better by comparison. I told someone about a failed business venture from years ago. Shared it as a learning experience. And years later, when I was giving advice about business, they brought it up. Said, "What do you know? You failed at this thing 20 years ago." Used my own honesty against me. People don't forget your mistakes. Even if you've grown, even if you've changed, they'll hold on to that information and use it when it benefits them. Keep your past mistakes to yourself. Learn from them privately. Don't hand people ammunition to use against you later. These 5 things: future plans, financial situation, family problems, good deeds, past mistakes. Keep them private. Keep them to yourself. Share them with no one. I learned this the hard way. Lost a business deal, damaged my marriage, ruined friendships, all because I was too open, too trusting, too willing to share. After 50, you should know better. Should have learned by now that not everyone deserves your trust, that some things are better kept private, that silence is often stronger than honesty. I'm not saying be fake. I'm not saying lie. I'm saying be selective. Be private. Protect yourself by keeping certain things to yourself. The world is not as kind as you think it is. People are not as trustworthy as they seem. And information you share freely will be used against you eventually. I wish someone had told me this 30 years ago. Would have saved me so much pain, so much loss, so many destroyed relationships. So I'm telling you now. After 50, keep these 5 things private: future plans, finances, family problems, good deeds, past mistakes. Tell no one. Share with no one. Keep them locked away. Your life will be better for it. Your relationships will be stronger. Your reputation will be protected. And you'll avoid the painful lessons I had to learn. Trust me on this. I learned it the hard way, so you don't have to. Subscribe if this opened your eyes to something you needed to hear.